Tell us a little bit about how you learned how to silversmith, where you got that skill. Who taught you how to silversmith?
Well, my uncle and my mom were making squash blossoms. Well, they kind of started because everybody else was doing it back in the early 70s, and I started watching them, and they were making beads and stuff, and pretty soon they asked me to start sanding beads, and it was pretty much, hard doing that, and just sit there almost half the day sanding down half beads, and then from there they used to solder them together. I just used to watch them, and then like after they finished a few pieces, they'd leave, and then I'd stay home, and kind of started, exploring on my own, just watching them, and I started, soldering things, which I was told not to do.
Don't mess with my tools.
Yeah, leave that torch alone. You might blow up the house.
It was an acetylene torch.
Yeah, it's a acetylene torch, but that's kind of how I learned, and then from there, the high school that I was going to in Tohatchi, they had silversmithing classes. I took 2 years of that, and became pretty good, and then my biology teacher was he had a hobby where he cut stones, and he kind of figured out that I did pretty good work, so he used to give me silver and turquoise and just tell me, just build me anything. So like after school I'd go home and just make polos, buckles, rings, anything that came to my mind. And then
you started making a living in silversmithing out of high school.
Yeah, I think it was a freshman when I started. And so anyway, that's kind of how I helped my mom too, because I come from a big family, 4 brothers and 3 sisters, and kind of helped my mom, like every time I got paid, helping out the groceries and stuff like that. So anyway, that's kind of where I got enough money to buy my own vehicle too, back in high school when I was a sophomore.
Freedom.
Yeah, I kind of found out that I could make a living with this, doing this. And it's basically where it started.
So out of high school, did you go to Gallup to work? Or?
Yeah, I worked in I worked for Richardson's Trading Company for a while, and just other places in Gallup, and they used to give me piecework, and I got to know some of the good silversmiths that were working there, different places, and just pretty much watched. And some of them, were really helpful, and just give you ideas on how to make things and stuff. And basically how I kind of learned, and then from there, just picked it up like that.
You are known for a high degree of finish work. Your quality of finish detail is generally way above most people. Where did you pick that up from? Where did that come
from? I worked down in El Paso, Texas for about 3 years, working for a watch company. The name of the company was Ecclesias, and they used to make watches, and I used to make masters for their like their clasps and stuff, and they used to cast them, and just basically combining how they finished their jewelry, and then how I learned how to finish my stuff, just combining all that, and then how to keep everything clean, especially in your oxidation procedures. You have to make sure you like when you use oxidation, it's an acid, and you have to neutralize those acids with baking soda, and because a lot of the jewelry that was made back in the early 70s, they used those acids, and they never neutralized them, so when somebody comes up to me like at a show, they have this old squash blossom that's all black, and you're like, they're wondering why it's like that, and they want to know how to clean it up, and it's like, you have to start back from the beginning and rebuff the whole piece, reoxidize it, and then neutralize it. See, if you don't neutralize it, what happens is when the moisture, like from the body or whatever, reactivates those acids, and that's how it tarnishes.
And it'll continue to do so from now on if you don't do it right.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I kind of found out that you do need to do those things.
Well, not only do they stay polished, but the degree of polish, the high degree of polish that you do is just way above what other people do. It's beautifully finished.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the difference between a carpenter and a finish detail carpenter.
Yeah, I just take the extra time to really, just work on it a little bit more. Just, take more time into making pieces, and it's just when you just want to have it, to make it work, it's perfect.
You seem to have a passion for your silversmithing. It's not just a job for you, is it?
Not really. Pretty much, I just pretty much just raised that way, I guess. Just making sure that everything's done right. Make sure that everything's perfect, because if I were to buy something, I'd want it to be the best that person can provide.
Well, that's the type of quality I see you making. It's really beautiful stuff. I mean, you seem to have a sense of quality turquoise and finished detail and an aesthetic view that is just, it all comes together, and you make very, very clean and beautiful work that to me is not only has a beauty and a value now, but historically is going to be very important. Is that the way you approach a piece when you start to make something? What's your vision for your work
just basically just just putting my best into it, whether it be high quality stones and the best work that I can put into it. And I had a preacher tell me once that you have to do everything like you're doing it unto God. Everything that you do it unto God. So my passion is, it's like me making it for God, and mainly that's where I go back to. And I think somewhere in the Bible that's what it says, do everything that like you're doing unto the Lord. And that's basically how I look at my work. And so each piece that I do, I try to put my best into it.